Yo, 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 what's up, guys? Welcome, welcome. Happy Monday. I hope everyone is fine so far. I hope everyone enjoyed their weekend. You know what I mean? That you had enough time to recover, go over the trades that you took last week, reflect on the trades you took. So this week, you can go ahead and kill it again. What's up, everybody? What's up, Danny? Fun with Sani, Chaitan, Danny Cords, Pranav. Welcome, everybody. Glad to see everyone back. Let's go. That's what I was talking about last Monday. That I want to see the same and more names in the chat. That's already a W. Let's go, guys. All right. Well, guys, we have Monday. We had a great trading week last week. We had a lot of volume on gold, a lot of bullish volume. We are continuing to push higher and higher and breaking all-time highs time and time again. So that's very, very interesting. Now, besides that, what did I want to like? I wanted to go over something. What was it? So excited. Yo, I'm also excited, man. Let's go. So today I also prepared a little something because I've been talking on the streams about having a trading plan all the time. So I have a little bit of a presentation for later today if we get the time to go over it. Because I want to show you like visually what questions you could put in your trading plan. So you guys after the stream can create one by yourself and level up your trading. You know what I mean? Yeah, today we are discussing breakdown, right? The overall breakdown of gold itself, what we could expect for the session today, and then for the week, and then after that, we're gonna be discussing and talking about trading plan, why a trading plan is great, and what you can include in your trading plan. Dude, let's go. Let's open solid. Yeah, you guys are like so impatient. All right, let's go ahead. Let's drive right into it. Just one more thing, guys. What is the number one rule in my stream? Let's see if somebody gets this right. What is the number one rule in my stream? I'm reading the comments. Let's see. Let's see. Yo, Coco, let's go. What's up, bro? Thank you, Alex. White color looking good. Appreciated. There you go, Chaitan. No question is a dumb question. Let's go. W Chaitan. You got it right. Awesome, awesome. Love that. So, just like Chaitan said, guys, no question is a dumb question. So, whatever question you have, drop it in the comments. I got you, right? I got you. Okay. So, let's start with the breakdown. Let me share my screen here. And I share my screen. Let's go with this share. All right. Drop a one in the comments if you guys can see my beautiful screen. I love that, guys. What's up, Austin? Welcome to the stream. I'm glad you're here. I hope you enjoy it. You know, we usually go a little bit crazy here, but also try to keep it professional, obviously. Yo, Evan, you have the same name like I have. That's crazy. You guys can see it? Okay, bet. Bet. All right, guys. Then let's get started here. So, as always, I do my top-down analysis and I start off on the weekly time frame on gold. Gold is basically the only pair I trade, so bear with me. I'm going to be breaking down gold. If you have any other pairs that you want me to go over after breaking down gold, you can feel free to drop it in the comments and I'll let you guys know what I think about the other pairs, right? Just so. All right, weekly is crazy. We've been bullish since like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks in a row, which is pretty crazy. Now, I bet that a lot of people got clapped here because after every weekly candle or even a daily or 4-hour candle, people were thinking, yeah, the pullback has to start now. So they start selling and get clapped again and again and again and again. So that's why trading with a trend is so important, guys. Like, yes, a pullback is due because everything that goes up must come down, but we have no idea when the pullback will be starting. And we want to make sure to focus on what price is actually doing right now and not try to guess tops or bottoms, right? So weekly bullish. Let's go back down to daily. Let's see how the Friday candle closed here. Why is it not loading? There you go. All right, so let's zoom in on this bad boy. All right, so the daily candle, beautiful bullish engulfing over here. Close bullish. Didn't quite close above these highs, but we're currently breaking out of this highs. We've already created a new all-time high up here at the 37.28, which is very, very interesting. As long as we hold now above 36 700 approximately, we could definitely see a continuation and buys again. Golden boy, yes, yes. Gold is very crazy right now. It's going to the moon and beyond. Yeah, definitely. So daily bullish. Let's go down to the 4 hour. 4 hour, guess what? Bullish, right? So bullish. We're currently in the breakout leg. So typically every time I come on session, I don't know why, but price already is like always in the breakout. So we have this breakout leg, which the breakout leg, if you guys paid attention on the other streams, is typically the leg that will break the previous highs that we have here, right? So these were the previous market structure highs. We got to push and then we get a break, right? So we got a breakout leg. Now we could basically wait for some type of a pullback leg and then wait for a extension, which would then be up into the previous highs it created before it started the pullback or beyond, right? So that's basically what we're looking at here. So 4 hour bullish. Let's go down to the 1 hour here. And you guys will also see on my zones that I have here. So that's why I put the names over here on the right side. 4H zone, we got 4H zone. So that's just so you guys know what type of zone that is. Now, the higher the time frame for me, the stronger the zone. So if this were a daily zone, it has a little bit more power and I could put a little more risk behind a trade taking on that zone instead of having it take like based off of 1 hour, for example. I hope that kind of makes sense. So we got a 4 hour range here. And then now we are in a 1 hour time frame and we see that price is currently rejecting this range over here. And we see a beautiful, beautiful fair value gap. So I do believe that there is still the possibility of price actually pulling back down into the fair value gap, rejecting it, giving us some nice entries on the 5 minute time frame, maybe even tap into this 50 EMA as well and kind of bounce along this range and then break out into the previous highs and maybe even higher highs over here. We're rocking. Yes, let's go. Can you check what was longest bullish streak weekly previously? Might get an idea of when we expect pullback. Yeah, we can look at that here in a second. Let's actually look at it right now. So let's see one of the longest bullish streaks. So here we're consolidating. Then over here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So basically, if we're comparing with this down here, we could see like 2 more weeks bullish. But at the end of the day, we don't know. Like pullback could start this week, next week, not at all, right? We could see another 10 weekly candles going up. We don't know. That's why reacting and adapting to what the market is doing right now is the most important thing. And if you are able to do that, you're like one step ahead than so many other traders that are always so fixed on their bias and yeah, just keep losing because they can't accept the fact that right now the market is not going in the direction that they expected. What's up, Viral Pixel? Thank you for joining the stream. What's up, Tanjio? uh, uh, uh. Yo, I haven't traded this account in a while here. Is gold going up overall? Yeah, it's going up. It's going up overall. So even if you're looking like long term, right? Long term investment, gold is a safe haven as of right now, right? So you guys could buy en masse if you can afford it. You guys can buy gold en masse, either in materialistic or obviously with the brokers, because long term it will continue rising. It will continue gaining value. German 30. Let's look at it. Let's look at it. It's German 40. So like I said, like this is a pair I usually don't trade, but looking at it just like right now, I'm gonna give my overall general bias. Okay, so looking at it, we are currently in a consolidation range. Now we are overall bullish. I see that higher high, higher low, but we're ranging. So me personally, I wouldn't be that interested in taking any trades here because we're bouncing between the 23 200s and the 24 400s, right? So coming down, but that's on the weekly actually. Let's go to the daily. Let's see what we get. It's also pretty choppy, man. Daily, we got consolidation box over here as well. And it's slowly but surely like moving downward. So what you actually want to wait for, since on the weekly we are bullish, kind of want to wait for a breakout structure on the daily or 4 hour time frame to the upside, like we had over here. We had a lower low, lower high, lower low, and then we had a breakout, created a new higher high. So this would have been a great opportunity to take buys over here after this breakout structure on the 4 hour time frame, right here in this area. So let's kind of zoom in on this here and see if we would have gotten something. Yeah, so that would have been a nice breakout here. Even here. That would have been during London session. USD So just a heads up on German 40. You could wait for price to pull back into 23,400 range, somewhere over here. Wait for some type of breakout structure to the upside, right? So wait for the 5 minutes to basically create something like this, boom, 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 a W pattern, and then you can feel free to take any buys up here. Now, if that should not happen and just like absolutely disrespect this range, you could basically wait for some type of market confirmation to take sales back down into 23,200 approximately, like short-term sales. Yo, now you guys want me to go crazy on the breakdowns. I'll do two more. I'll do USDJPY and then another pair for you. Because I don't want to take too much time, just breaking down random pairs. So looking at the weekly on USDJPY is absolutely disgusting. Sorry to say that, but yo, that's like chop. Like that's chop, bro. I wouldn't understand why you really want to trade this. Like I would totally understand if at this point you're like in drawdown, you're emotionally going crazy because you keep getting stopped out for no reason. I would totally understand it because based on what I see on market structure, it's just awful. But then again, right? If you're like I don't know what type of strategy you trade, but if you take like bounce plays, then that is possible setups you could be taking, right? So every time we're at a resistance, you take sales, and every time we're at support, you take buys, right? So close below resistance, sells, bounce, buys, sells, buys. But it's like I said, it's like so ranging. I wouldn't really even trade this at all. I would wait for official closure outside, either to the downside for a break and retest back down, or for a break and retest to the upside. But it really has to close like at least on a 4 hour time frame, close above and hold above, like here. This was a nice break and retest setup over here, if that makes sense. All right, one last pair I'm gonna be breaking down for you. What is it gonna be? Is it gonna be AUD CAD? Is it gonna be Euro USD? Yeah, don't trade a ranging pair, guys. Like ranging pairs literally drive you crazy, and you end up losing more unnecessarily. You always want to look for a pair that is already trending. So that's why I always recommend to everybody, you gotta have one main pair that you learn in and out, right? Because every pair is different. Every pair moves at a different time, in a different speed, in a different amount of pips or points, right? So you have one main chick, main guy, and then you have the side chick, the side guy, right? And those are waiting on the sidelines in case your main trading pair is chopping or consolidating. Range market, risky market, exactly. Um, damn. Okay, let's do Euro USD. Let's do Euro USD. But typically Euro USD is fairly similar to gold because obviously they have the USD in it. So if USD is going down, then obviously Euro and gold are going up. So looking at the weekly, kind of chopping on the weekly as well here on Euro, but we are slowly building up. And every time we are in a consolidating phase, the breakout is like the longer we're consolidating, the bigger the breakout will be when we start breaking out. So on the daily time frame, we just broke highs, created a new higher high on the daily time frame. So we are overall bullish, right? We're creating like slowly but surely bouncing every time on the EMA. It's being respected. Let's go to the 4 hour. Yeah, so on the 4 hour, we kind of have like this double bottom pattern where we also broke out. And now we are right at the resistance. So I would not buy into this here yet. I would definitely wait for at least like a 1 hour closure above the range here. Wait for a pullback, wait for this EMA to hold price and scoop it up. And then I will take buys back up into previous highs. If that doesn't happen, then I wouldn't take sells here. I'll wait for price to break these lows here, give me more confirmation that we could continue lower, and then take sells back down into these lows. That would be my personal approach, but that's only, based on my strategy. You're like, stop spamming. Spam. Now you guys are going crazy. You guys are going crazy. I want to see more questions though. Like, drop some questions in the chat so I could go over those as well. But let's go back to gold. Let's see if we actually got a setup here. We're still pulling. Are we pulling back? No, we're chopping. Yeah, we're consolidating here. So what I will usually do right now is basically place a alarm right here. I'll place an alarm at 37.08. I'll wait for price to tap into this range, be on a discount. Ideally, drop into the 50% fair value gap. Now, this here is the best area for me to be getting in on buys, right? Now, I'll place my stop loss either below the fair value gap or below my other 4 hour range and then target these highs. This will be my first TP and then just see how long I could drive it up into all-time highs. But where price is at right now, I would not take any trades. I'll wait for pullback here, bounce, boom, buys, or I could wait for a 5 minute closure above this range if I'm feeling aggressive and then just get out at a 1-to-1, or I could wait for a break and retest above all-time highs and then take the buys here. But in none of these scenarios would I be looking to take sells until we break below this range, break structure, and then just short-term sell back down into the next range, if that makes sense. Don't you think gold is strong bullish and from 37.08 buy again? 37.08. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I'm waiting for a pullback back in this range, and then one could take possible buys if price action gives us the entry. Do I think it into 3700? Yeah, I could very likely pull back into here. Yeah, maybe in like 15 minutes or so. How many lot sizes do you use on gold? I mean, it really depends on your account size, right? If you're like trading funded, let's say 50K, then the average would be one, I think it's like 1 or 2 lots. And then it varies on your account size, honestly. But what I recommend is like don't risk more than 1.5%. If you're trading on a funded challenge or funded account, don't risk more than 1% or 1.5% per trade. Now, if you are trading personal capital, that's another story because now you don't really have like strict rules that apply. So you're a little more free. So on your own funds, I don't know, you could be risking like max 10% per trade. That's how I usually do it. I risk like 5 to 10% per trade on my own funds. Do you ever trade Nasdaq? I used to trade Nasdaq, yes, but I stopped trading it like a year ago because for my personal reference, it just was a little too volatile. Now I like the balance between volume and not too much volume, and I believe that gold is perfect for me in that aspect. Nas was too fast for me, so I missed out on like the best entries very quick because like 10 seconds price is here and in the next 10 seconds is already here. So if you're not like this crazy sniper with a sniper entry, the move already happened and you're in too late. I'm using the 50 EMA. For me, the 50 EMA makes the most sense, but obviously this can be different for everybody. Um, what do you mean with STDV? What's that? Explain my strategy. Yo, what's up, Chaco Waldo? Welcome to the stream. All right, so explain my strategy. So my strategy is fairly simple, right? It's price action. support and resistance, and for sniper entries, I got the fair value gaps. That's what I use. So what I always do is I start off on a weekly. Look, okay, where's prices at? Okay, we're bullish, yada yada. Okay, let's go to the daily. Daily, where do we see zones? Okay, I see that the last market structure point was up here. That was a high before price started pulling back. So I want to make sure to mark that area off, either on the daily or on the 4-hour time frame. Then I go down into the 4-hour time frame and do the same thing. I mark off my 4-hour ranges where the price react previously, right here. So this is a zone of interest. Where did it react previously? Over here and over here. So that's a zone of interest. So I'll mark those off, and then I just wait for basically price to come back into the range and give me some type of reaction so I could take the trade based off that, right? I hope that kind of makes sense. So we have the 1 hour, for example. We go back to the 1 hour. Now we have the 1 hour range up here because I see that on the 1 hour price reached this level and then started pulling back. So that is telling me that the 37.27 is a zone of interest where next time we could see some type of a reaction. And then I just scale down into the 5-minute time frame and then just wait for price to get to my zone and give me a nice entry signal. For example, in this area right here, what I would be waiting for is for price to pull back into here, tap into it, create some type of a bullish candle here, or like a rejection candle. Let me make this in green. Something like that with a wick to the downside on the 5-minute time frame, guys. So something like this. Now, if price pulls back and gives me this type of candle, I will happily take this trade, place my stop loss below the fair value gap and the rejection wick, and then target these highs up here. So now my risk reward ratio is almost a 2.8 or maybe even a 3R multiple. So regarding the question to my average R multiple, I need at least a 2R for me to be interested in taking this trade. Now, if this candlestick were to like close, I don't know, like here, I would definitely not take this trade because this is lower than a 1-to-1. So I would not take it. I need at least a 2-to-1 R multiple for this trade to make sense. I think funded accounts are more appropriate for making us consistent. Yeah, absolutely, because you have a set amount of rules and like, yeah, rules that apply that you need to respect. And if you don't respect them, you basically lose your account. So you don't want to do that. So yeah, what actually prop firms help you with is actually be a disciplined trader for sure. Best RR trading prop firm account. I mean, between I would say like a 1-to-1, a 2-to-1 is fine. Like if you just take your wins, you know. Do you think USD is easiest and gold is most difficult? Yeah, there are like different stages of different forex pairs. The easier like pairs will be GBP USD, Euro USD. That's level 1. Level 2, GBP JPY. Level 3, gold. Level 4, NAS, US 30, and German 40. Those are the levels. So whatever level you consider yourself, you could go ahead and check that pair out. Settings on my EMA, it's a 50 EMA. So you just go to indicators, exponential moving average, and then just change the input on length to 50, source close, offset 0, smoothing left, length 9. You made 1.5 on gold short. Oh, that's crazy. You got on shorts. Ooh, that's risky, Calm Night, but I love it. Evan, what's the one habit outside of trading, something in your daily life that made you a consistent better trader? I was about to ask you in previous session. Awesome question, Keto Bell. I appreciate you. So one thing that really helped me, I know this might kind of sound like a cliche, but working out, actually working out, that is absolutely outside of the charts. But when you're working out, you have to be consistent and disciplined to see results. So I've been working out for like 8 years or something. So I kind of had the chance to build up my discipline when it comes to working out. Now that discipline I could easily apply to trading. And that's why it was easier for me to become, a profitable trader and become a disciplined trader because I already had like this disciplined frame based off of working out and fitness, right? So that's one thing that helped me. Another thing that really helps is journaling. Not just journaling your traits, but also just journaling about your emotions, journaling about how you feel, about your goals for the future, about what you've been through your entire life and what got you to the point where you're at right now. like basically reflecting on your life, I believe is also a great game changer. And knowing where you want to go. If you have no idea where you see yourself in 5 years from now, how do you expect to level up? How do you expect to grow if you have no idea where you're going, right? And I mean, you don't have to have like this perfect plan of the perfect future. You just have to know a little bit of a direction of where you want to go. So basically, life can give you those steps you need to take in order to get there, right? And the most important thing is you just got to enjoy the journey. Don't go crazy on always thinking of the future. Don't go crazy on always thinking about the past. Like, make sure you enjoy the now, because the now is everything we have. Tomorrow is not promised, right? So we don't want to go crazy on losing our minds like, oh, I want to make money. I want to be a millionaire in 5 years. No, 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 no. But right now, life sucks, blah, blah, blah. No, you're already on the journey. Like everybody watching the stream right now, you're already doing something for your future because you are listening to me, because you're watching this, because you're interested in learning more about trading. So you're already doing something for your life. Now make sure to enjoy this, right? Enjoy this journey, guys, because it's amazing. Like if I could turn back time to the days where I first found out about trading, like those were the best golden days for me, because for the first time I had something that could give me the chance to fulfill the dream life that I've always dreamed about, right? So, and now I'm here, man. And I'm just getting started. Like I'm literally just getting started. Like I have like this huge ass goals, but you know what? I'm grateful for what I have right now. I'm grateful for this moment. I'm grateful that I'm able to spend this time here with you guys right now, talking to you, because I absolutely love that. And you're just all amazing, man. I love you guys. For real. Then that was everything we have. Facts. All right. So, yeah, we got halftime, baby. We got halftime. So let's go over a little bit of a presentation I prepared for you guys here, where we're gonna go over a trading plan, because I've been talking this on the last streams. Every time I was like, guys, make sure you have a trading plan. If you don't have a plan, how are you supposed to get better, right? How are you supposed to level up if you have no idea where to level up? So that's why I prepared this presentation. I mean, it's a little bit of an old presentation. I'll be honest. I've had this like 2 years now, but we'll go over it. I appreciate you, Sonia. Thank you. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Bro, I go crazy with this screen type sharing. All right, I'm guessing you guys could probably see the screen. Yeah, I showed my first trade journal. Yo, that's facts. That was crazy. That was some crazy times. Any books about trading I suggest? Yes. So one of my favorite books is Trading in the Zone. Trading in the Zone, The Zen Trader. The Zen Trader is one of my top favorites. And then The Best Loser Wins. Those are my three top picks. Very, very great, great, great books for trading. All right. Then let's go over how to do a trading plan, guys. Because like I said, like having a trading plan is one of the most important things you guys need to have. Okay. So the first thing is a trading plan is used to set fixed rules. It helps you keep your emotions under control, helps you keep an eye on your risk management, and allows you to keep evolving, right? Yeah, Trading in the Zone from Mark Douglas, exactly. Now, what you want to make sure to include in your trading plan are the following things. You guys can also go ahead, kind of screenshot this so you guys can apply that on your own trading plan later, or you could obviously just rewatch the stream, whatever you guys want to do. Now, the first thing you guys want to write down is your goals, right? You want to have long-term and short-term goals. Long-term goals could be, yeah, I want to be funded with $1 million, or I want to buy a house in the future, or I want to be financial free. Like those are long-term goals, okay? Now, the short-term goals will be the goals that you have to take or achieve in order to get there. So, in order to be funded with $1 million, what would you have to do first? You'd first have to take a challenge. You'd have to take a 100K challenge, 200K challenge. You'd have to pass that first and then accumulate it, and then you can reach the million. So that's why I'm saying, like, you have long-term and short-term goals. You want to make sure you write those down, because if you have no idea where you're going, how are you supposed to know what you're doing, right? Now, What kind of trader are you? Are you a day trader? Are you a swing trader? Are you a scalper? Write that down. Make sure you are clear about yourself, because you don't want to be taking trades on the 1 minute time frame on one day, and then on the next day take a trade in the 1 hour time frame and be like, yo, I'm kind of like a scalper, but then I'm a like I'm a like a swing trader, not like decide. Okay, there's a mix, right? You can also be a little bit of a scalper and day trader at the same time. Totally fine, but just know what are you. Now, what trading strategy do you follow? Is it price action? Is it ICT, SMC, supply and demand, whatever it is? Write that down. You got to make sure you know what you are trading. Now, which pairs will you trade? Is that gold? Is that Euro USD? Write that down. What session will you be trading? Right? Also, super, super important. You don't want to be on the charts 24/7, because believe me, the market does move 24/7 during the week, and you basically get setups the entire time. But you don't want to be glued to the chart the entire time, because the goal of becoming a profitable trader is to be free, is to be financial free, but also to be free of your time. So you want to make sure that the moment you come in the charts, you use the time effectively. 1, 2, maybe 3 hours of full focus. You make your bread, you close the laptop, and you come back the next day. You make or lose your bread. Okay, I don't want to be too biased here, but you guys know what I mean. Now, we got sessions, right? So I personally trade New York session, which for me in gold is the best time to trade. But obviously London session is also good. If you like a little bit of volume, then Asia session is also something for you. Now, another important question: how many trades do you take per day? Now, this is very important for your risk management. I personally like to take 2 trades a day. Now, if the I'll go over the risk parameters here in a second, but 2 trades today, per day, maximum 10 trades per week. What are your limitations? So what are the set of rules that you need to follow, or what are the things that have to happen for you to react a certain way? We'll go over this here in a second, what I mean by that. Now, how long do you hold a trade? That's also a great question. Every trade is different. One you could be holding 10 minutes, the other one 2 hours, but just have an average on how long you hold a trade. For me, the most important thing is don't hold trades over the weekend. That's like an absolute no-go for me. Don't hold over the weekend. And then also, I don't like holding trades while I'm asleep, because my sleep suffers under it. That's I'm gonna be straightforward. I used to take trades that I used to hold for the night. Bro, my sleep was awful, because I'd wake up like every 30 minutes and then check out the charts like half asleep and just look at the drawdown and be like, oh shit, man. Half an hour later, I look at it, I'm like, shit, still in drawdown. And I had like the worst sleep. So every time I noticed that kept repeating, I'm like, yeah, you know what? Before going to sleep, all my positions have to be closed. I don't care if it's in a small loss and a big loss and a big win and a small win. I just close it all. Now, what is your risk reward ratio, average risk reward ratio, and your risk management? What are your trading rules? What confluences and requirements do you need to open a trade? You also need to know that. That's based off your strategy. And then finally, you have your checklist, right? Everybody's like, me too, bro. Yeah, like having a trade open and then sleeping is the worst. And the swap fee on the weekends, exactly. That's why I got clapped on that one time. CRV is basically no, that's in German. This is Chance Risikoverhältnis. So this is actually a RRR, risk reward ratio. CRV was the German version. I forgot to. All right. So now let's go over some examples on every question, so you guys have a little bit of orientation. Now these answers basically are from my trading plan from 2021, or by the beginning of 2022, I think. So that's, I basically just copy pasted in here. Okay. So everything, like a lot has changed based of this, but sometimes some things also have not changed. So just so you know. Okay. So first thing, my goals, long term and short term. Long term, financial freedom, support family, travel the world, be my own boss, buy a house, and so on and so forth. Right. They're like these classical goals that one might have. Now, short term, you want to make sure to test the trading strategy, back test, and started funding or leverage challenge, etc. Now, like I said, this is just an example. You guys fill out what suits you the best. Okay. I had a dream of a 1.5 hour while I'm sleeping with an active trade. Bro, that would be W. Yeah, confluence is confirmations. So the second thing is, what kind of trader am I? Day trader. by that time. Now I'm more of a scalper day trader, like a mixture. What trading strategy am I following? Price action strategy, market structure and indicators, support and resistance, trend lines, Fibonacci, SMA, candlestick formations, and key levels and trends. That's kind of my strategy right now. Still didn't really change a lot. Besides, I'm not using Fibonacci anymore, and I'm not using trend lines that much anymore. Um, what separates a consistently profitable funded trader from someone who just gets lucky and blows up after payout? It's the discipline, man. At the end of the day, it's the discipline, because one could get very lucky, get one payout, and then start like blow the rest because they're not consistent, because they're not disciplined. A disciplined trader will slowly scale that funded account and get consistent payouts because he has a set amount of rules. He has a set strategy that he just rinse and repeats every time. And he's also not emotionally attached to the result. He's not emotionally attached to a payout because it doesn't depend on that money. Now, a person that takes a challenge, passes it, but has financial struggles, and then gets a payout, the first payout, and is super excited, like, I got my first payout. Oh my God, I'm going to be a millionaire in a year. And then he comes in with that idea of, now I have to do it again and again and again because I'm dependent on the money I'm making. That is the worst mistake that you could do. You don't want to be dependent on the profits you're making or on the losses you're having on the trading. You want to make sure you have either a side hustle or a 9 to 5 on the side or some money saved up. I don't care. You don't want to be dependent on the results of your trading, because if you are dependent, your emotional state will suffer under it and you will get in a losing streak and you will blow it all. Now, which pairs do I trade? Now, obviously, I'm just trading gold. I used to trade GU and GJ as well. That's crazy times. What session am I trading on? London session and crossing with New York session. That has changed for me as well. Currently just trading New York session, but it's just, like I said, for example purposes here. How much payout is enough on 5K funded account? Man, even if it's just 1% or 2%, I mean, it's fine, right? You have to think in percentage. Don't think in money. If on a 5K account you manage to make 5%, that's how much is that? 500? I think that's 500. If you manage to make that like 5%, then with that idea that, okay, I'm able to make 5% on an account, now you can scale next time you buy a 50K account, right? Now you make 5% there. That's 500. Yeah, on a 5K, it's 50. My bad. Oh, I don't know, man. I'm bad with math, okay, but you get the point. You get the point. It's about percentage, it's not about money. All right, next page. How many trades do I take per day? 2 trades per day, max 10 trades per week. Now, once you reach the limit of 2 trades, here, right? The limitations. If the first trade is a winner, then I stop for the day. Why? Because after win, you typically get like euphoric and you get emotional and you're like excited. So a lot of people or a lot of beginner traders, what they will do is get back in a trade because they want to make more now because they're greedy, right? So in order to avoid greed, you want to make sure that if the first trade is a winner, you just stop for the day because you already made bread. Like, why would you try and give it back to the market if the market already give you money? So just take it. Now, if the first trade is a loser, though, then if I see another opportunity, then I could basically take another second trade. Now, if that second trade now ends up being either a winner or a loser, I will stop for the day. So this means that I can have 2 consecutive losses in a row. I'd be down 2% on my challenge, call it a day. Or I could have the first trade being a loss and the second trade being a winner, making back the loss and plus more. So I would have like 1%, 2% profit. I will call it a day. Max 2 per day, max 5 losers per week. If I have more than 5 losses per week, then something is off. And that's probably some emotional state, probably in my private life, right? If I have fight with somebody or if I'm just feeling depressed or demotivated, then that influences my trading performance. And if I keep losing again and again and again, then it's the best to just step away for the week, reflect what happened and what I could do better, and then refresh my mindset and come back the next week. Coach, I'm facing same issue. If I win, I take more trades. Yeah, that's the greed kicking in right there. You got to make sure to stay disciplined, guys. Like, I can't stress this enough. I know this is way easier said than done for me to say, like, yeah, you just have to be disciplined as a trader. You just have to apply the rules. But at one point in your trading career, you will be so fed up with yourself, like so fed up that you will have no other choice than to actually be disciplined. And the moment you start becoming disciplined and really just focusing on your strategy, applying your rules and not breaking those rules, that's when you become consistent and profitable. Like it's literally so easy, but at the same time, it's so difficult because every person is different and it's hard. It's hard. I'm not going to be talking here and saying that it's easy. Which prop firm should I choose to buy a challenge? Sanya, that's a great question. I could give you one great prop firm, and that's called ThinkCapital. No, but honestly, really, guys, ThinkCapital is awesome. They really have great conditions. They really do. Like I've tested a lot of challenges because I've been trading for over 4 years, so I've been through it all. Even the times where there was like this funding company that went went down, bro. I lost a few accounts there as well. But to be honest, like on my personal experience, I believe ThinkCapital is one of the top trading prop firms here. Is it possible to turn $10 into 1K in 1 week? Possible, yes. Likely, highly likely, no. Realistic, no. All right, let's continue. How long do I hold a trade? 1 to 8 hours. That was back then when I was a day trader. Now it's like 30 minutes to 1 hour max, maybe. Close my positions on the weekends, and I don't hold trades during major news. Also very important. Want to make sure we don't trade during news. Then we have risk reward ratio and risk management. I only open a trade if I have a minimum of a 2R multiple. I wait for my candlestick entry signals. Now it's in a 5 minute and 3 minute time frame. I only enter a trade if it's a high or medium probability trade. I risk maximum 2% of my capital per trade, maximum 2% loss on a day. Once the limit is reached, I will continue trading. I will not continue trading, no matter how perfect the setup might seem. Max pip stop loss on my pairs 20 to 35 pips, and once TP1 is hit, I move my stop loss to break even, and so on and so forth. So these are just like the rules before a trade, while you're in a trade, to just manage your trade and manage your risk management. You want to make sure that you also include that in your trading plan, guys. Yeah, ThinkCapital is perfect as broker-backed firm. Exactly. My trading rules. Now, these rules are based on previous experience and getting clapped a lot of times. So, yeah, I will always, in caps, place a stop loss because I broke this rule too many times and I lost too much money. So that was the number one rule. I will never increase or remove my stop loss, hoping price will move back in my direction. I think a lot of you guys can relate on this. I trust my analysis. That's facts. So, one thing that you guys need to know is before entering on a trade, your mindset and your state of mind and the way you look at the chart is untouched, right? It's basically, how do I say it? It's without a bias because you're making a decision, you're still not in a trade, so you're not emotionally attached to what you're seeing on the chart. Now, this mindset changes the moment you take a trade because now you are in the market. Now there's money at risk. Now you're starting to sweat and you're nervous because there's money at risk, right? So any decision you make now, once you're already in a trade, is not the best decision. The best decision was to take before you were in a trade and before you were emotionally attached to the trade. So whatever decision you made before, if your stop loss was here, that decision was made for a reason because you still had a clear mind. If now you're in a trade and you start to move your stop loss lower, make it bigger and bigger, just know that you're not in the best emotional state and this is going to go backwards, right? So you don't want to do that. Um which moment in your career felt more powerful, your biggest win or finally mastering your emotions? Thank you, Kirubel, for the question. Now, I wouldn't say it was the biggest win, honestly. It's more, it's actually more mastering my emotions and being able to master the emotions. And for example, like you have like a big trade going and you're already up a lot of cash, but you see that based off the setup you have, there's still potential for price to continue higher because it's just you're just trading market structure, right? You're just trading what you see on the charts. So being able to be up a good amount of money and hold it because it's according to your strategy and because you're not looking at the money and then closing in a bigger win, that's one of the greatest feelings. But one of the most important feelings I had to go through is lose a lot of money for me to be down that bad for me to start changing the way I behave on the market. So the biggest loss was the one that made me consistent at the end of the day. If you could go back to your first 6 months as a trader, what would you do differently knowing what you know now? Oh man, I would definitely focus on just trading one strategy. I would I would like look up one strategy, see if I can identify myself with one trader that teaches that strategy, and then just stick with that. And don't go crazy with trying to implement this there and then change strategies again just because it's not working for a week or so. I would stick to one strategy, back test that strategy, write down all of my rules, and start applying those rules. Start trading demo and analyzing and seeing what trades I've been taking so I can, improve on that. But definitely, I would just stick with one. Taking decision before is better because you have a clear mind. Exactly. Book for psychology, best loser wins, trading in the zone, and the Zen trader. Those are my three favorites. And if I had to choose one, it would be best loser wins. But the Zen trader is also so good. Best loser wins and Zen trader out in place one, and then trading in the zone is place two. All right, let me continue here. So you guys see those rules. I don't want to be reading all of them. You guys can then screenshot whatever you want to screenshot. Now here's the trading example of my strategy back in the days. A lot has changed. So this is not actually actual. This is just for reference. You guys can see, okay, what is a confluence and what requirements do I need to open a trade? Now, like I said, this is different for everybody. So I'm going to kind of leave this changes here again and go to the last part, which is the checklist, which is also super important. So, checklist. First thing, check news calendar. Very important. You don't want to go in a trade with news coming around the corner and get clapped unnecessarily or lose your challenge, right? So, you want to make sure you check the news calendar. If there's a high impact news, stay away. Wait at least 30 minutes to 1 hour to pass, and then you could see if you could get a setup during your session. Second, ask the question, what's the trend? So, you want to make sure you check higher time frames, the weekly, daily, and the 4 hour. Are we bullish on all of them? Then we have a higher probability the price will continue higher. Are we bearish on one but bullish on two? What is the higher probability? If there's two bullish and one bearish, then the probability is still bullish, right? So we want to make sure you clear that question. Now, where are the support and resistance zones? You mark those off in the charts. What setups can I expect throughout the day? So you always want to have a pre-market plan, like I have with you guys, right? Like we did on gold. I have my zone. I want to wait for price to pull back in that range. And I tell you guys, I'll wait for this. If this doesn't happen, I'm not going to be taking a trade, right? So you want to make sure you know what you're waiting for. If you don't know what you're waiting for, how do you want to know where to get in, right? What are my confluences? What entry signal am I waiting for? Is it a break and retest? Is this a bounce play? Is it the break of the high, break of the low? You want to make sure then you calculate your risk and your lot size, place a stop loss, and your take profit area. All of that before taking a trade. Then you open a trade. And wait until price hits either your TPs, gives you an exit signal, right? Or hits your stop loss, whatever. Now, if you are in profit, you can move your stops to break even. And then lastly, close all the trades before bed, unless the trade is in profit and your stop loss is in profit or break even. Then you can just let it run because at that day, you don't really care. So that's to the trading plan, guys. Let me stop the share here real quick. Wow, gold is actually chopping. Gold is not doing anything. That's crazy. Many of the times, even after getting a best trading entry, we fail to gain pips because of our psychological problems. Yeah, Joe Buyer. Totally agree. Higher time frames for trends. Yes. The higher the time frame, the stronger the trend, the higher the probability of the trade. As a day trader, we trade in 4 hour and for entry 2 hour, right? So session will implement a role, or it's important. What? I don't quite get the question here. So as a day trader, you can basically use the 4 hour and the 1 hour for your zones, and for entries like the 30-minute, but the highest the 1 hour time frame. You guys are already like, you're already ready for the giveaway, aren't you? Which one is better, break even or trailing stop loss? Denny Quartz, it does depend on how far the price has already moved in your direction. If I'm up a 1 to 1, right, I'm up 1%, I risk 1%, I would just move my stops to break even and leave it there. Now if we move higher and start breaking structure to the upside again and again and again, and now I'm up 2%, for example, now I can start trailing my stop loss into profit, like at least to a 0.5 profit, or at least to the 1% range. So in case price is already up 2%, comes back down, it stops me out at least at a 1% profit. Psychology is more important than strat. Totally agree. Totally agree. A strategy you guys can learn in like 1 to 3 months, but psychology takes years. If you don't know where to look, it takes years to master. But once you master strategy and psychology, you're like you're like boss. You're like a king. Once you got that down, you're a king. And then trading is like a game, and it's basically like unlimited. There's no limits on how much you can earn or lose in trading. You guys are ready? All right, guys. Then let's get started with the giveaway, man. I'm always super excited about the giveaway. So I will be giving away three 10K challenges, or basically ThinkCapital is giving them away. I'm just hosting the giveaway, right? Because ThinkCapital is so nice to do that for you guys, which I believe is so awesome. So in order to enter on the giveaway, if you guys want to enter, first of all, you got to make sure to like this stream. So you got to leave a like on the stream. Otherwise, you're not going to be entered in the giveaway. That's the first thing. Okay. And now the second thing is you guys want to make sure to comment in the comment section. Let me think about it. What should we do? Let's do something funny. Um, what should we do? Let's do hashtag elephant. All right. Hashtag elephant all in small. You guys know how to write elephant? To enter the giveaway, hashtag elephant. Let me type it out as well. Nah. Bro, I even spelled it wrong. That's crazy. Hashtag elephant if you guys want to enter on the giveaway of the challenge. We're giving away three 10K challenges to three lucky winners. You guys have a few minutes to enter, so make sure you spam that in the comment section. And then also like the stream. If you don't like the stream, you're not gonna be entered in the giveaway. So you gotta make sure you leave a like as well. Let's see them elephants. Hashtag trader elephant. No. Just hashtag elephant, please. Calm night. Can you win this time? You already won a challenge. Did you blow it? If you blew it, then I guess you could potentially maybe win another one. Maybe potentially. Yo, let's go. Now that's crazy. Like every time when it's giveaway time, like in the last 10 minutes, people start joining the stream, but you just like miss out on the entire stream. You just come for the giveaway. Nah, that's crazy, bro. This is actually crazy. 1 to 3 winners. Yes. Filter by hashtag. Hashtag elephant if you guys want to enter on the giveaway, all in small, and leave a like on the stream. Not yet blown up 0.5. That's W. Let's go, Calm Night. That's awesome. I'm the Cowboys elephant in the room. Damn, guys. Also, if you guys like won last week, just don't participate, because then you're basically taking the chance for somebody else to win. So if you already won challenge last week, delete your comment. All right, we still got a few minutes to go, guys. So anybody who just joined, if you want to join in on the live giveaway, hashtag elephant, all small, type it in the comments, leave a like on the stream, and you're automatically entered here. Also, quick information to you guys. In 9 days, I will be hosting a trading retreat, which is the first trading retreat hosted in Brazil. Patrick is my best friend. We're hosting this retreat. We still have 2 spots available. So if anybody's interested in joining the retreat in Brazil, it's gonna be taking place in a luxury villa. We're gonna be focusing a lot on psychology and emotions in trading during 7 days. Bro, I can't even count during 7 days. Make sure to send me a DM on Instagram. It's Evan Chauncey if you guys are interested in joining the retreat. Now look at that. I got this cap. Horizon Trading Retreat, officially sponsored by ThinkCapital. Thank you guys. All right, we got 2 minutes, guys. 2 minutes. Anybody that joined, hashtag elephant, and a like on the stream to be entered. I think it's funny, like people joining the live stream right now, they're like, why is everybody spamming elephant? Like, where is the elephant in the room? Right here. Right here. All right, I'd say let's get started. Should we get started? You guys are excited? 7 days trading retreat? Oh yeah, absolutely. But it's not just gonna be like not just trading, but it's gonna be trading. It's gonna be psychology. It's gonna be group activities. We're gonna go surfing, swimming, quad tour, city exploring. Man, we're about to go crazy. Like I've planned a lot for the retreat. All right, let's get started, guys. Let me make sure to share my screen here. For transparency reasons, obviously, because I don't want you guys to think I'm faking anything, because I'm not. We're fair. All right, so we got hashtag elephant, got filtered by hashtag. Exclude duplicates, 3 winners. And why can I not scroll down? Countdown 10 seconds. And let's refresh here. Let's refresh a little, shuffle it up, shuffle it up, shuffle it up. We're ready? Let's go. Let's start. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we got Fajar. Congratulations. Gospel Chidera. Congratulations. And we got Xinfinity. Let's go. Spam some W's in the chat for the winners. Let's go, guys. Congratulations. You just got yourself a 10K challenge. Now, how you can claim your challenge is you go to our Discord. Andre, make sure to drop the link of the Discord in the chat, please. Join our Discord, write support, and you will get your credentials and your login details. Congratulations, and spam some W's for the winners. Xinfinity already won as well. Damn, really? Xinfinity, do you want to be honorous if you've already won and give away your challenge to somebody else? Do you want to? Drop in the comments if you want to do that. If you haven't won. Let's see. Let's see what we get here. Yeah, still spamming, man. W for the elephants, bro, I swear. Xinfinity, did you already win the challenge? Yes or no? Of course, Gospel Chidera. Like I said, make sure to contact our support on Discord so you can claim your 10K challenge. Congratulations, though. Danny Courts, you got to keep coming. You got to keep showing up. You got to keep showing up. Your first time on YouTube? Okay, bet. I believe you. I believe you. All right, then we got our official 3 winners. Congratulations, Fajar, Gospel, and Xinfinity. That's a wrap. That's a W. Not a wrap yet. Not a wrap yet. Do not leave the stream yet, guys. Do not. Do not leave the stream. Do not. We still have one thing to go over. One very important thing. And that will be the breakdown. What can we expect for today for the rest of the day, and then also what could we expect for the week. Okay, guys, if you want to win another account, you guys just have to show up next Monday. You guys can show up on Friday as well with Doey, and on Wednesday with Rodrigo, and you'll get another chance of winning a challenge. But the best time, obviously, it's with your boy. You know what I mean? You will leave. Oh no, don't be mad. Travis who? Travis Greeny? I think I heard that before. Like, no lie, I've heard that before. Yes, Fajar, you're the winner. Congratulations. Okay, guys. So let's go over here. Gold. We got a nice breaker structure here. Finally, some volume because it has been chopping all day. So that's literally what you want to see. What I want to see. We got to break out of this highs, out of the 5-minute highs. Okay. Created a new higher high, created a fair value gap, and now price is pulling back into it. So theoretically, one could take a buy based off this range over here. Maybe pulls a little lower in the 50% fair value gap, right? Depending on where you get an entry somewhere here. What you want to see though is for price to hold above this entire area here. So you want to make sure price holds above this area. You could basically already be in this. No financial advice though. Um, Now your stop loss, you want to make sure you place it below the fair value gap or even below this rejection to be a little safer. And then you want to target at least, or I want to target, right? I'm talking about myself. I want to target at least a 2R multiple into all-time highs. There you go. 2R. Damn, that's such a good sniper entry. I did not take the trade though, but that would have been a good sniper entry. That's why I just love price action, man. I just love it. So yeah, for today, that's what we're looking at. In case you missed out on this chance, you could still wait for a break and reaches above the all-time highs. But then again, be a little bit like cautious and careful because trading all-time highs is a little bit sketchy because we don't know when price will start reversing, and then you could like really just get melted like into stop loss really quick. I give you 100K challenge, man. That's not how it goes. You need to change giveaway methods so that people watching the stream win some. Yeah, I'm thinking about that as well. I'm thinking about like another way and how to do it that you have to basically start watching from the beginning. So that's this potential setup here. Now, if price starts breaking back down, basically this like invalidates this position, then you can wait for price to actually pull back into the major zone of interest, have a change in structure on a 5-minute time frame, and then you can also take buys over here. Right? So that's another buy position area, stop loss here, price into all-time highs. You got a 3R multiple. That's the possibility number 2. Yeah, those are like the two setups I'm looking at right now. Basically, a buy based off here, buy based off here, or buy based off here. I would not be interested in taking any sales as of right now because we're still very bullish. So the only moment where I will be looking interested in short term, not long term, but short term sales will be the moments that price starts breaking back below this resistance range over here and starts kind of like pulling back and like rejecting like it did here. Then I could look to take sales back down into the next 4-hour range. But besides that, no sales for me, just purely buys. And yeah, looking at the daily, after the daily candle closure, if it closes similar to this, like bullish, we could expect for tomorrow, probably during Asia session or London session, we could expect a pullback. And then during New York, get another chance to get in on high probability buys at the 3,700 range, right? So that's it with the breakdown. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. If you haven't yet, make sure to leave a like on the stream, and I'll see you guys next Tuesday. I'm not going to be live on Monday because I'm going to be traveling on Monday. I'm going to be heading to Brazil. So next Tuesday, I will be coming live and I will be in the tropicals to hop on stream. So we'll see you guys on Tuesday at the same time as always. All right. All right, guys, take care. Enjoy the rest of your week. Don't overtrade, don't over risk. And whatever you learned today from the trading plan, make sure to copy that and create your own trading plan. All right, so you can start off profitable into the week. Let's go. All right, appreciate you guys. Take care. Love you. See you on Tuesday. All right, tune in on Tuesday. I see you on Tuesday. Peace out.